Hello everyone, welcome to Python Academy. So this is the small introduction session about the elective course in our data analytics program, that is Flask Django Web Development. So talking about the data analytics program provided by the Python Academy, so we are having four phases. So first one is the Python program essential setup, and where we will cover the Python programming language concepts. Then second phase is the data analytics with Python. So we will call it as the descriptive analysis, and where we will make the use of the multiple packages like NumPy is there, Panda is there, and some other packages available in the Anaconda environment. Then the third phase is the advanced data science concepts, so where we will talking about the machine learning algorithm, how to use some machine learning algorithm on different data available, and in this phase there are some other stuff also. So fourth phase is the elective. So in this session we will talk about this elective subject. So in our academy we are providing 5 elective subjects. So first one is the natural language processing, then second is R programming but in the advanced level, then deep learning is there, then IoT application with Raspberry Pi, and the last is Django Flask web development. So in this session we are talking about this particular elective subject, that is the Django Flask web framework. So now question is, why websites are so much important nowadays? So if you are talking about any business, so they want their online presence, and nowadays we use so many web application for our day-to-day solution. For example, if you want to buy something online, so we have Amazon, we are having Flipkart, we are having Tata Click. Then if you want to transfer the money, then we are having Google Pay, Phone Pay. Then similarly, if you want to book a cab, then we are having Ola, Uber. So lots of applications are there which are available on the internet and which are based on the web. So if you want to develop them, then you have to learn the web application web development. So if you learn the web application web development, then you can be a web developer. So there are three sides of web development actually. So you can be a front end developer, then back end developer, and the full stack developer. So in the front end developer, the developers are responsible for the behavior and the visuals of the websites, means what user sees exactly on the web browser. Then backend developer deals with the server, or you can say the server side scripting with any programming languages. So here we will talking about only Python language. Then full stack developer does the both, means he is responsible for the front end developer development as well as the back end development. Means you can say the full stack developer are responsible for the complete functionality of your web application. Then talking about our course content, so we are having 4 parts of our course, means we divided our course in the 4 parts. So first part is HTML, then the CSS is there, then Flask, and finally Django is there. So everyone knows the full form of the HTML, it is a hypertext markup language. And now the question is, why HTML is important for our web development? So as a programmer, you know that any website is a collection of the web pages. Not only web pages but the interlinked web pages, means any static web application. If you are talking about any static website, so it is nothing but the collection of interlinked HTML web pages. And the web page can be created using HTML language. So HTML is a markup language, and markup language is used to process the text to the browser. Then second thing is, so HTML helps you to communicate the information over the World Wide Web. So as a developer, you will create a dynamic content using any programming language. So we will talking about some dynamic websites, so which need to pass to the user using HTML web pages. So a web developer should have the basic knowledge of the HTML. At least you should know the different tags and different elements available in the HTML, so that you will add the dynamic content in the HTML tags. Then the second part of our course is the CSS, and it is stand for the cascading style sheet. So CSS is the language used for describing the presentation of the web pages over the browser. So using CSS you can create more and more attractive web pages. So in CSS there are different colors, some different layouts, then many fonts are available, so using which you will be able to design your web pages more and more presentable to the user, and user likes more presentable website actually. So CSS enhance your presentation over the browsers. So using HTML as well as the CSS you can make the front end of the website. So since we are talking about a dynamic application, then it is a combination of the front end as well as the back end. So front end you can design with the HTML and CSS. Now the back end of the web application. So here we have chosen the Python as our backend language. So there are two frameworks available in Python using which we can create our backend. So first one is Flask and the second one is Django. So using Flask and Django we can develop the backend part of the website. Then the question is, what are these frameworks, right? So frameworks are nothing but the platform or the base where we can develop our own application. So we will talk about in detail in our course. So here frameworks are Flask and Django. Then coming to the next slide, we are having Flask. So it is the third part of our elective subject and it is the combination of three sub parts actually. So in first part we will add some dynamic content to the static web page. Then we will learn how to manage the website URL. So a website will have the multiple URLs, so we have to manage in our dynamic web application. Then we will learn how to render the dynamic data to the static web page, and we will learn how to make a website more and more interactive in our first part of the Flask. Then coming to the second part of the Flask, we will be creating the API. So API are the application programming interface, and we are having one diagram over here to explain the API functionality. So basically API is the communication between the two applications. Here you can see there are one application and other application. So first application is written in the Java programming language, and the second application is in the Ruby. So API is the communication between two applications, and this application can be written in any programming language. So here in our diagram, so first application means this application which is written in the Ruby will request for some resources using some URI. So here is unique URI. So it will send a request. It is nothing but the HTTP request to this second application. Then second application will execute that request. It will do some process and return the requested data back to the first application. So in our course we will be creating the REST API using Flask. So where we will make the use of the JSON data to transfer data back and forth between these two applications. So here one example of JSON is there. So you can see JSON data is very much similar to our data dictionary in our Python programming language, and data dictionary is nothing but a data type in our Python. So there are lots of data type available in Python which we can learn in our data analytics program first phase. Then coming to the third part of the Flask, we will learn some machine learning model deployment using Flask. So in our data analytics program you will learn how to apply some machine learning algorithm or model on the given data set. To make your work means to make your model available, we will deploy that machine learning model which you have already created using in our data analytics program. So we will deploy that machine learning algorithm using the Flask so that it can be accessible to the other users also. So this is all about the Flask in our elective subject. Then moving to the Django. So it is the fourth part of our elective subject. So Django basically is an open source platform available in the Python. So Django will help you to build a complex application faster. Means using Django you can build a bigger and complex application. So basically Django follows the MVC pattern. So I think everyone knows the MVC architecture here. So in MVC architecture, M stand for the model, where V stand for the view and C stand for the controller. So here we are having one diagram over here which will explain the uh, MVC pattern. So here Django follows the MVT pattern. So basically MVT and MVC pattern are the same, but Django follows the MVT pattern, only the terminology is changed. So here we used to call our view as the template. So template is the front end part, you can say, then controller as the view. So controller are the backend part which we can write in our Python language. Obviously Django is a Python framework. So in this diagram you can see, so request will come from the user. So here user is nothing but the web browser. So web browser, whenever you type some URL on the web browser, that request will goes to the web application server, then web application, that request executed. So first your request goes to the view. So view is responsible for everything in the our application, means all the functionality of our application. So view will fetch the templates. Will fetch the templates means it will interact with your front end side, or you can say the HTML as well as the CSS. Then it will fetch some database, so using model. So this model is nothing but the database structure, and we are having the actual database saved in some another database, so some elsewhere. So view will interact with your model as well as your templates. So we will implement MVC pattern in our application. So in our course we will be creating one application in the Django using this MVC architecture, or you can say in Django language it is the MVT architecture, where we will perform some necessary operations like creation of the database structure, then some creation of the models. Then we will define the relationship between the models. We have to define the relationship between the models, and models are nothing but the structure of the database, you can say. Then we will create the different forms to collect the user input. So using form you can collect the input from the user, obviously. Then finally we will implement the authentication and authorization in our application to make our web application more and more secure. So this is all about the Django in our course. Now moving to the next slides. So we are having one session in the Git. So Git is the open source version control system. Suppose you are working in a company and you are working on a project where 5 other people are also working on the same project. Then how to manage all the files, how to track all the changes done by each and every person in your group, or you can say on that project. Then for that we are having the solution, that is nothing but the Git. Sorry. So using Git which manages all these things in your project. So we will learn some basic Git commands. So these commands will include addition of the files to the Git repository, then commit those files to the Git repository, then push command will be there. So push command to store the updated file in the Git repository, then pull command to fetch the file which is already exist from the Git repository. So there are some more commands available which we will learn in our Git session. Then in our last session we will talk about the deployment of the Django website, means web application deployment. So deployment is the process of converting your application from development phase to the production phase. So in this session we will deploy our web application which we have created in our Django classes to make it online. So in our Django classes we are developing one application which we will deploy in this session. So before deployment we will use that application locally. Then after getting deployed, our application is accessible over the internet, which we will be using some online resources in our app, and this will be available to the public consumer. So to achieve this, we will make the use of the Heroku free clouding. Okay, so this is all about our elective subject, that is Flask Django web development in our data analytics program at Python Academy. So thank you, have a nice day and goodbye.